Ladies and gentlemen, this is controversial. We realize that we're going to piss you off. That is okay. We still love you anyway. But we shook some things up because you look at a mock draft, and I feel like every three mock drafts look the same. So some of this may look the same, but it's going to get very different very quickly, and you will see. But comment below and let's get into it. First off the board is we got Caleb Williams. That seems like an absolute shoe-in, easily, debatably, but easily the most talented quarterback in this year's draft class. Seems like a head case, but the head case is worth it if he could make your team relevant again and move some tickets, which he will, you know. Jaden Daniels, the Washington, there was some complaining. Arrik, you don't think you think that's just smoke and mirrors. You think he'll probably go to Washington, right?
I think so. I mean, Jaden Daniels is legit one of the top prospects in this draft. The grades that he's gotten as a QB in both testing, obviously his arm strength, he's solid. He'll be all right.
Love it, man. Then we got Marvin Harrison, and this is where it gets shaken up. Marvin Harrison takes and goes to the New England Patriots. If you're a Dolphins fan like myself, you hate this. You hate this because he makes the team relevant. He's easily the best receiver in this year's draft, and he is a generational type of guy. We'll look back 10 years from now and be like, wow. You know what I mean? Patriots were gutsy. And they could have went with Drake May. They could have. But here's the thing. Arrik, I don't know if you're with me on this. I feel like only 2 to 3 of these quarterbacks are going to be good. 2 to 3 of them.
I seem to agree with you there. Speaking of quarterback, with Marvin Harrison and the generational talent that he is, as a Dolphins fan, you have nothing to worry about. Who's going to throw him the ball?
Well, Brissett's pretty good, but Brissett is, well, here's the thing. He's good enough to be a starter in this league, in my opinion. He's definitely good enough to be a starter, but I think he's on, a 2-year contract. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see how that all.
And he's a little older in age, so we'll see.
Then we got potentially the next best receiver off the board, and that is Malik Neighbors, Arizona Cardinals, LSU, man. This dude, man, he has it all, man. The dude is 6 foot tall, 199, had a RAS score of 9.67. Supercharged explosiveness in his legs, lateral twitch. I mean, he brings you so much. And they have their wide receiver number 1 should be a wide receiver 4 somewhere. So they are butt booty naked at the receiver position.
Hey, Michael Wilson's a pro. I ain't gonna say he's butt booty, but he ain't great.
Yeah, not for a receiver 1. That's another way to put. Once Kyler Murray takes and gets off his PS5, he'll be right back on the sideline injured because he ain't got no one to throw to. But I think Malik Neighbors is really phenomenal, man. He has a swagger to him. Moving on to the Chargers, man, we got Rome Odunze. Rome is, some can argue that he is the best, just like they can argue for Malik, the best receiver in this year's draft. Love Rome. He has all the intangibles. There's a childlike love for he has a childlike love for the game of football is what I'm trying to say. Moving on, Giants, Drake May. They could develop him, man.
You think so? Behind Danny Dimes, or you let Danny Dimes go?
Man, Danny gotta go. I know. I'm probably wrong on this. They have him for another year or 2, but it's gonna be interesting, man. Titans, Joe Alt, man, that O-line looked brutal the last year, bro. Brutal. Probably the last 2 years. Joe Alt is gonna sure that up. Number 8, Dallas Turner, Alabama. We got the first edge rusher off the board. This one was a tough one, Arrik, for us. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it was a tough one because of the Atlanta Falcons having so many needs on that team. They shored up some of their questions offensively. Defensively, I think they're still trying to find their identity. But I think bringing in Dallas Turner should help with that situation.
I love that. Then we have Olu Fashanu. I'm going to say his whole name. Olu Miyawa Fashanu. Dude, this guy could have been top 5 in last year's draft. Education is very important to him and his culture and stuff. And he promised his family he was going to get that degree, and that he did. So congratulations. But now it's NFL time. and you got potentially the best quarterback in the draft to block for. And what better to help in his development than add a tackle there, man?
Hmm. No, I like that. I think them two coming in together and learning together at the exact same time could actually help create a good culture for that team. Kind of get rid of some of that stench that we know the Bears to have.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Then we got the Jets with Brock Bowers, man. Brock is dope, man. Brock is Jetsusuk. Now, that may not be the case forever. Brock is dope, man. And Aaron Rodgers coming back this year, I think it'd be a great addition. All biasness aside, you see what kind of hat I'm wearing. Then Eric, man, Bo Nix at 11, Vikings. What do you think about that,
Bo
man?
Nix, wow, yeah, that was a shakeup. I think you and I kind of played with that one a little bit and made our own Play-Doh. But
Yeah,
Bo Nix, I think, will be a good pro. I think that he's actually going to surprise some people. He was kind of quiet 2 years ago. Had a great campaign this year in Oregon, so I think he's actually going to come in and make some heads turn.
love it, bro. Love it. Nah, that was a tough one, man. You and I were scratching our head like, man, what can we give to the Vikings, man? Now they have a buttload of draft collateral. And one thing we
Mhm.
want to say, folks, there's no trades in this mock draft. We did it straight up. But Eric and I both believe that think probably the Cardinals or Patriots could potentially give someone up that spot. More so probably the Cardinals, but we'll see. We'll see. Moving on, Michael Penix Jr. to the Denver Broncos.
Mhm.
I like that. He has accuracy. I know that arm strength and accuracy is very, very important to Coach Sean Payton. So he finally got his quarterback that I think is going to cover up some of his flaws as a coach that we found out recently. So
Flaws as a coach. No, I'm with you there, bro. Michael Penix was both of you and I's favorite quarterback as far as the quarterback that's going to come in pro ready.
Mhm.
That O line is not bad where it's at. I think that they will have a much better structure with Russell being out of there, and
Yeah.
they'll be back to Broncos let's ride rather than Broncos let's hide.
I like that, man. That could be a shirt. Broncos, let's hide.
Not with them New Jerseys though. What do you think about them New Jerseys?
I like the white and the blue. The orange one's a little weird. It'll take some time to grow up on me. But my whole thing is like, dude, if you want the old school ones, just bring them back.
Exactly.
Bring them back. But they're cool, man. They're cool. I'm 1 out of 10. Not my favorite jersey. You and I were talking earlier. I love the Houston Texans jerseys more than the helmet.
Yep.
And I think when it comes to jerseys and everything, bro, the Lions,
Detroit. Yeah, it takes the cake, bro. No
definitely,
question.
man. Number 13, Xavier Worthy. So not one, but two really good receivers for the Las Vegas Raiders, man. We got Jared Verse, edge rusher, Florida State. He goes from the burgundy and gold to the golden black.
Hmm.
Third Coast, man.
Hmm.
I'm excited for that. Dude, I feel like they're going to get an edge rusher, man. Like they're going to,
I mean, that's what the Saints are known for, is being a
yeah,
defensive-minded team. Whatever the offense gives them is kind of a plus, but they
yeah,
stay in the game. They've been a playoff team year after year, no matter how bad the roster looks on paper.
yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Moving on, Cooper DeJean. Ooh, goes from Iowa to Indiana. Dude, I'm excited for this. I think
Yeah.
15, some could argue, oh, it's a little too early. You probably go late first. Hell no, man. He is that good, bro.
Hmm.
One of the best DBs in this year's draft. He could play safety, he could play corner, he could line up man to man. You could put him so many different ways, and he elevates just like a nice spice can elevate a dish. Cooper DeJean, that's right. This white guy adds season in his dish. He elevates the Indianapolis Colts. You like what I did with that?
I do. I did like that. At first, I thought you said ice spice. I said no, 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 no. But these said, add a little spice. I get it. I get
Maybe
it.
he could get with Ice Spice
No, please don't.
if he gets on the goes to New York, but
Please, please don't.
moving on. JJ McCarthy. Now, look, if you want Zach Wilson, well, you could have got him, but the Broncos got him. But I see Zach Wilson 2.0. I don't like crapping on rookies. I'm not trying to do that. I hope JJ crushes it. I just have not seen it yet. It's been shout out to my homeboy Dom. He had sent me a highlight reel of his top 5 best plays, and they were all handoffs.
So this is where you and I do see things a little different. I was very high on JJ McCarthy before the year started last year for the Michigan Wolverines. I thought they came in on a mission. I was looking for specific things from JJ. The inconsistencies were there, but hey, he's not a pro yet. You know, they could wrinkle or they could iron out those wrinkles for him. But physically, the kid is gifted. There's times when he gets outside of that pocket and people forget how athletic he really is. And he
Yeah.
continues to actually develop his arm. Kind of reminds me of when Jalen Hurts came to us Eagles year one and we questioned his arm strength. But then once he gotten a little bit of gumption under himself and got his feet under him as a pro, that's not a question anymore. So we'll see what JJ brings. I think a couple of years seating behind Geno Smith will actually help him out.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. I was talking to one of my buddies at work, and I was like, man, what do you want? He's like, man, we need a quarterback. And in my opinion, I would say, okay, you could tighten up that O line for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I like Geno. I think you could win with Geno without a problem. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Are they going to take the shiny, flashy toy? I think JJ McCarthy's that toy for them, man. But comment below if you agree or disagree. Moving on, Troy Fatanu. This guy is like a homing missile. You would thought he was a linebacker who played tackle. This is, in my opinion, he is easily one of he could when this is all said and done 10 years from now, we look back at this draft, we could be saying that Troy Fatanu is the best offensive lineman in this whole draft. I am such a fan. I'm so impressed and blown away. 6'3", 317, and man, is he agile like a cat.
So are you stepping out on a ledge here and saying that could be a future Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Okay.
Today on the Touchdown with Doug Smith. Yes. I got to remember this so I look like the man 25 years from now.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here, son. But yeah, he's phenomenal, man. And Marius Mims, a lot could be said about him too, man. Again, talk about a RAS score of 9.59, 340 pounds, but he's 6'7".
Mm-hmm.
Some people even say 6'8", depending on who you talk to. You know, hey, Joe Burrow got injured, man. You got to protect your guy, man. You got to protect your guy. So Marius Mims is going to be able to do that. Then with the Rams, shout out to Soup, man. One of the co-hosts of the show, Adrian Soup Campbell. Follow him on Twitter. He's awesome. He's a diehard Rams fan. And
super dope.
I think Latu, 6'4", 259, had a great RAS score. Great what he puts on field. And he don't got to drive too far, man. You're going from UCLA to SoFi Stadium. You gotta love it, right?
Yes, sir.
Brian Thomas, man, talk to me about the value Brian Thomas brings to the Pittsburgh Steelers, Eric.
I think he brings solidarity and unity. From what I see on his profile, he's about 6'2", big body, about 213.
Yeah.
But where you've got George Pickens, who is an extremely talented wide receiver, I think he has a little bit of growing up to do. And with Brian Thomas Jr., I think you can rest assured that will be your yin and yang. You know, he might be able to keep Pickens a little calmer, or, you know, hey, if Pickens is not in the right mind state right now to, progress the team, we can at least count on Mr. Thomas Jr. on the other side.
I love that. That was an awesome breakdown, man. And I want to add to that, we got 2 quarterbacks. You know what I mean? So they're saying Russell Wilson, he's going to start, but the moment he messes up, Justin Fields is in there, right? So regardless, I could see Brian Thomas in both of those universes, both of those worlds,
With me being an Ohio State fan for their football team, this will be Justin Fields' team by week 12. Quote me.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that, bro. I could totally see that. If that happens, man, Russ is out of here in a year or two. I don't see him being a backup anywhere.
See ya.
Yeah. All right, y'all know me. Look, man, cover the whole NFL from draft prospects, all kinds of stuff for you guys, beautiful people. But I struggle with the 21st pick. I don't think we're going to go receiver. I think that happens with our second or third pick in this draft. But I love Talisi Fuaga. This guy is very, very good. 324 pounds, 6'5". I see him starting at guard this year. And then when Teron Armstead retires, shout out to Teron Armstead, man. Fan of the show. Check out that interview last December. Crushed it, man. Great guy. I could see Talisi being our starting tackle. And the connection with the Polynesian heritage with him and Tua. Look, man, Tua, we're talking he could be getting paid 45, maybe 55, somewhere in there a year, right? We're talking about a big old juicy contract. We got to protect our investment, right? We need a tackle, man. So we need somebody who's going to take and be there, man. We shirt up for most of the O-line, but having Talisi there, I think will be fantastic. And then my guy, my brother from another mother, Arrik Rand. You're an Eagles fan. If y'all didn't know, he has tons of green lights in back of him. Talk to me why you chose Kool-Aid McKinstry, sir, and what value he would bring to a Philadelphia Eagles team.
First of all, imagine this. Lincoln Financial makes a tackle in the secondary. Next thing you know, boom, the crowd roars, and all you hear over the speakers is, "Oh yeah,
Kool-Aid!"
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. We need a secondary that is heavy hitters. I think we're going to talk about it in a bit, but the hip drop tackling is going to be out of there this year. So we need somebody who can stay with their man and actually tackle in between the numbers. And I think that Kool-Aid is that guy.
I love it, man. I love that, man. Kool-Aid McKinstry is phenomenal, dude. He makes it look very effortless. Absolutely, his instincts have me so excited. We could see a Kool-Aid McKinstry get defensive rookie of the year.
We could.
We could potentially see that. He is that phenomenal. Another phenomenal guy I want to talk about in the same state but a different team, from Penn State to the Bay Area, the Tampa Bay area, Chop Robinson going over to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. Maniacal energy, excuse me, I can't talk today. He's a 3-down defender, extreme dense, compact rusher, eye-catching point of contact, strength, and pop. Hence, he got the name Chop. I added that in there. Dude, nice. He's a baller, man.
Yes, sir.
He is a baller, man. And dude, when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are good, NFL is good, man. We want to see, most of us, unless you're in the AFC South, we want to see the Buccaneers do well, man. Baker Mayfield got them boys humming out there. He is pretty much a franchise quarterback. He did a prove it deal, and he has proved it. But I would like for them to go edge rusher, man. Chop is that guy. We talked about the Cardinals, man. Now the 4th overall pick, we have Malik Neighbors. We talked about that. They're gonna go receiver again, and this time as Adonai Mitchell. So in one draft, your receiver core is changing. Talk about how this will help out Kyler Murray, Arrik.
I think any wide receiver help will help Kyler. But since he is a guy that likes to get outside of the pocket, if you watch Adonai Mitchell, he runs his routes extremely crisp. Yeah. They're on time, great hands. He's also patient. And what I mean by that is not so much he's just out there waiting for the ball, but he's a patient wide receiver in the sense of he can run his route is over, but then he checks for the quarterback. And then he'll trace the quarterback, which is what Kyler's going to be looking for. And as a wide receiver 1, which I think day 1, Adonai Mitchell walks in and is the wide receiver 1, that'll be exactly what he'll need to boost that offense.
I love that. I love that, man. Yeah, they could be very relevant again, the Cardinals. Then we got the Buffalo Bills, and they lost not wide receiver 1, but they lost wide receiver 2 and Gabriel Davis as well, too, along with Stephon Diggs, as we have mentioned. Xavier Leggett, man, 6'1", 221. His RAS score was a 9.9. So he works out great, but he shows you what he does for that team. Even Spencer Rattler, like I wasn't expecting much, and he had a very good career. He not only grew up as a person, another episode for another day, but Xavier Leggett helped for him to be the quarterback that he is, man. Really just a down home guy, very humble, talks like this, really country guy, man. But he's just a guy that I think would actually do really well in a place like Buffalo, and he is going to get fed. We talked about the defensive rookie of the year being Kool-Aid McKinstry. Well, guess what? I think the offensive rookie of the year could be Xavier Leggett for the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Hey, we making predictions here with Miss Cleo, man. I think
Call me now.
Besides speed, physicality, amount to has an incredible upside as a rack threat. So look, Finn's fan for life. Y'all know what it is. But putting all bias aside, man, Josh Allen loves feeding his receivers and spreading the wealth. And Xavier Leggett's gonna do very well in the NFL. Then we got Johnny Newton and D tackle for the Detroit Lions, man. Aiden Hutchinson, like all the guys, Houston, man, all the guys they have down there. They're just going to continue their legacy of terror on the NFL.
Yeah, it looks that way, dude.
Dude, they are phenomenal. I am such a Johnny Newton fan. I had interviewed Jordan Slaughter on this show, and I was like, what were those one-on-ones like? He just said, Johnny is like this all the time. He's intense.
That's good.
He is intense.
That means coach is going to love that in Detroit.
Absolutely. You and I, we bumped heads on this one, man, and rightfully so, because it's tough, man. Like Baltimore Ravens, 30th pick, Lad McConkey. Now, you and I we weren't on board. I chose Lad because he's a guy you can just dump the ball, and a lot of his greatest highlights are dump passes, and he takes off up the field. He's a a rack machine. Yards after catch. Dude, he's amazing. I'm a fan. Who did you want for this pick?
Well, I struggled because it was in between McConkey and actually Polk.
Okay.
Who will actually be coming in later in this mock draft. But the issue with McConkey is not so much his skill set. He's a phenomenal wide receiver. I just questioned with Zay Flowers being an undersized wide receiver if Lamar will have a big enough target outside of Andrews at wide receiver. But McConkey very well could fit. I mean, honestly, he's like Hunter Renfrow 1.0, not 2.0, because I think he's better. But we'll see. I think Lamar can figure it out. Obviously, he can do it with smaller wide receivers. He did it last year. He didn't have a single big wide receiver. So we could see it playing out very well for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the final two picks of our 2020 NFL draft, before we take and we move on, Arrik, plug your stuff. Let the people know where they can take and find you, bro.
Well, you know me. Time Out with Arrik. Follow me on X or Twitter if you're old school like us. But yeah, we've got a podcast coming very soon. So you'll be able to follow me also on YouTube. Page is up. We'll be definitely getting more information out there. And it's going to be some reaction videos. Some are just going to be points of views. I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm just going to put that out there. But we're definitely going to be discussing across most major sports.
Man, I love it, bro. I love it. Moving on to second last pick, we got Christian Haynes, offensive guard, UConn. That's right, folks. UConn. If you guys watch the clip where Christian Haynes is going up against one of the D tackles for LSU, dude cannot get to the quarterback, gets frustrated, rips Christian Haynes' helmet off. Christian Haynes is like a stable. He's like the Roman Coliseum. You can't just knock that over, fool. Hurricanes will hit it. It ain't going nowhere. And
so it's like Florida.
Man, it's Florida. I ain't going nowhere. Hell, I wish we could get Christian Haynes in Florida, but let's be real. Christian Haynes, a talent like that out of UConn, he's not going to escape the first round. Some of these guys, San Francisco, they're going to have someone on their agenda, and they're like, oh, Christian Haynes is there? Them or the Chiefs are going to do it. Watch.
Yep.
Then last pick, we got Jalen Polk, Washington, wide receiver. Dude, I love Jalen Polk, man. He's phenomenal, man. He has a lot of depth to that receiver room. There were a lot of issues in that receiver room last year. You remember the drop balls, right, in the first game against the Lions?
Dude, they dropped more balls than bombs over Baghdad in the base.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, word to Outcast, man. Absolutely. So, yeah, man, it was a lot, man. So had Pat Mahomes not been one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest, he brought the best out of his receivers. He has that rare trait, but having Jalen Polk in there, man, I think he's going to crush it, man. So, but anywho, folks,
they're going for that three-peat.
Man, I hope not. But we'll see. That'll probably what happened just because I said that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith. That's our mock draft featuring Timeout with Arrik. The link to his show will be down below. Also, this episode is brought to you. It is brought to you by the Jank Barbecue, the best barbecue in the state of Texas. So that link will be down below. Even if you don't live in Texas, all good. I got you covered. Ships all worldwide. So if you're watching from Canada, we got you covered. Watching from Germany, we got a little taste of what real Texas barbecue has to offer. God bless you guys. Jesus loves you, and we'll see y'all next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith. Thank you for watching another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where we have exclusive NFL content and exclusive NFL interviews. Be sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. Follow us on social media. See you on the next one.